Hey family, hey friends. You guys all know I'm not good at keeping up with everybody. So I got this idea from another traveler friend who just sends videos to his friends and family to kind of cover the broad spectrum of stuff. And then if you guys have like questions or want to talk about anything specific, just actually message me. It's just hard to keep up. But I'm on the Finca where I've been kind of working supervising. And in the background you can see Saratuza. It's the world's largest natural pyramid, and that little dirt looks like a muddy slope where the water runs off. That's actually the trail, and it's insanely steep. Gonna do it one day. Anyway, behind me is the moon door. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Yeah, this dude Dustin built it. He's this crazy carnivore. He doesn't eat anything except for meat. But he's great with concrete. So then we walk through the moon door, down the path, replanting a bunch of the native plants from the jungle, just all over. And everything you see over here, this is all our finca. This is everything. Like, to where you see the bamboo over here, that's another lady's property with her orange trees and stuff. But all the way to that creek, and past that mountain, that's actually a flat top right over here. That's where a big part of the resort is gonna go. But yeah, it's massive. I'm not gonna be able to walk you around the whole thing right now. This dude's working day after day, working their asses off. Good dudes. Everything from that fence line right here up is freaking dairy farms and stuff. Everybody destroys the jungles so that their cows can graze on grass, and then they have massive landslides because they took out all their root systems and wonder why. Hey, buenas. Cool little bridge, cool little creek. There's like, shoot, I can't remember how many natural springs on this property, but there's a bunch. So we're walking up into the jungle, and on the right side you can see some of the dudes. And that's the path that goes up and around. We're gonna take this one to the lagoon. Buenas. Bien. Say hola. Oh, there's another one of the little finca pups. Hey. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
Yeah? Okay. And sweet path. These guys have just really incorporated everything back into the jungle along the path, restabilizing the soil and the different ecosystems, because there's 3 different ecosystems in the jungles here depending on your elevation and humidity. This is our lagoon. It's murky right now. It was so clear just like 2 weeks ago. We came on a Sunday and ate some mushrooms and went skinny dipping and walking around the finca. Awesome waterfall. Again, Dustin. He's not here anymore, but yeah, so eventually all this will get covered in natural moss. All this rock will get finished and detailed. Right now it's just kind of etched out, but it'll actually look like real stone again soon. And we just kind of cross. There will be a bridge at some point. So this is all natural fed spring water too. And when the water's clear, it's because there's this hose that takes the water all the way up, and it rains down into the pool and aerates the water and helps clean it, and then it all overflows over that way. And it actually stays pretty darn clean in there. It's amazing. This is all fed from another natural spring, and there's another pool up here, which I think Andrew wants to add heaters and stuff to it, so it's kind of a hot spring. So we'll just kind of make our way through the man-made creek area, up this wall, and then up this little creek that the guys have graveled and semi-cemented to make sure it stays where it's supposed to be, I guess. And then all the plants around it are all water-specific plants that weren't here before, but they're gorgeous. Now this is going to be sweet They just finished this too and had to refill everything back up with water. That's why it's all murky and stuff. But this right here is normally crystal clear, like the lagoon normally is. And they completely sealed this thing in. And so this thing gets crystal clear, flows in from the spring that keeps coming from further up. It's amazing. The property goes up this ridge right here, and there's actually a trail. It just keeps going up and up and up until you're like, I don't know, 30 meters above where we're at now, maybe more, 40 meters. And there's a mirador up there, and that means like a lookout space, and it overlooks the entire valley. And it's gorgeous, but the very peak of it belongs to the neighbor, who is a grumpy old man with kids that don't want anybody up there. So he put up a fence of barbed wire and bamboo. I mean, I climbed over it, but you know what I mean. Anyway, these guys right here are doing some amazing work. This is gonna be the base, buenas, of a freaking tree walk. So it's gonna go from here, where it's about, what, 4 meters, 3-4 meters overhead at the base, and that's going to be the first platform. Then there's going to be a rope bridge going over to the next platform over here, and then a spiral staircase up to the a platform up above to another tree over there, that big one you can see in the distance, and then up above to a perch. And the total of that one's going to be like 15 meters. And it's above all these trees right here. So you can see again out over, you can see Saratusa, which is behind this tree. It's going to be really incredible. I'm stoked. Andrew describes it perfectly. So Andrew is my friend Shane's business partner and friend. And Andrew describes this project so well as a 12-year-old's imagination in a 39-year-old's body. These guys just have a tent set up over here for literally all the metal work you can think of. Let's see, we're gonna walk up and then back down to go around everything. Beep, bop, boop, beep. Okay, so now we've wrapped up and around, and we're meeting up with that trail that went off to the right earlier, where my buddies were that sat and waved, and they're just down there now, way off in the distance. So this trail takes you up and around. Now you can see Saratusa again. Oh man, the mud is deep right here. Okay. And if we're lucky, we'll find my friend Gertrude. Well, I call her Gertrude. She's a box tortoise or something. She just roams around the jungle. Oh yeah, check out this little vantage point. That's actually the pool and main area over there. We'll walk over there in a minute. That's the mirador right there in the shadows. Then it leads up to there through by the micro cabins and the gardens, the greenhouse. But this is the whole valley. Well, a part of the whole valley. We're about to go up to the mother tree too. She's awe-inspiring, you will see. And look at all this plant life, all this stuff. So this was all replanted with like the perfect amount of chaos so that it doesn't look organized and landscaped and groomed. And the path I'm walking is actually eventually going to be like a hard packed path that's going to be capable of maintaining a golf cart for when there's enough residents or fucking people here staying at the resort. That's years down the road, but it's really, really exciting. Okay, so we're coming up to this spot. It's always super muddy. And it's like thick clay mud. This stuff is insane. But yeah, look, even more better views. And behind this little tree is a huge tree we call the mother tree. This little line of trees right here looks kind of like a border. Is fantastic for setting your hammock up in and just chilling because it's at the top of the hill. There's a breeze that comes through here and it's gorgeous. I mean, it's in the shade. And this used to be a dairy farm, so there's those old, like, you know, old water troughs and stuff. And here she is. She's just huge and she's gorgeous. She's like looming in an unoppressive way. It's just amazing. So now we're walking up to the flat spot I pointed out earlier that was on the top of that hill, where they leveled it out right here. So we got that one nice tree right there, and then boom, just down the hill a hair, and off to the side is the mother tree. She's just gorgeous. Like you want to climb her, but you don't want to scuff her up, you know? All right. And here we are. Just amazing. And then the neighbor's property with her orange trees right there. And now, a little bit of fun trivia, or information, I guess. Trivia, sure. This mountain here, oh shit, almost tripped. Can't remember what it's called. But at the top, it's flat. And there's actually a bowl up there where Pablo used to grow massive amounts of cocaine. And in the 90s, the government went in with helicopters and firebombed the entire thing. I really want to go and hike up there with metal detectors and just kind of loot around and see what's up there, because people find stashes from Pablo and his freaking, his organization all over the country. Well, at least Antioquia, which is the region I'm in where Pablo is from. Well, they just clear cut all this stuff. Let's just go check it out. Oh, well, we'll miss something if we go this way. So we got to go back around. Whew. Do. I know, everybody watching this is like, oh my God, Ryan, the cardio. Like, no, it's still struggling. Hardcore. But I don't know. Anyway, I've had a great time up here. I've been to Medellin a few times, and my buddy Chad, he's from Saskatchewan. He and I rode in to Medellin to meet with some of my friends that I made after a couple Tinder matches and dates that just turned into be like really awesome hangouts. And now we're just like a good group of friends. And they organized one of the protests in Medellin. I don't know if you guys have noticed how fucking crazy everything is. Oh, real quick detour. Up this path, there's a nice clearing up there where they're going to have a huge garden. But that's also going to be where Shane and Oshra are building their house. And Andrew's going to build a house up there too. And they're actually going to live on the Finca. So this is the border over here, or at least the beginning of the border. Just this awesome creek. More water, just running along that edge, which we have full access to, as far as even developing goes, because we've been having the guys dam up certain parts of the creeks and the streams where there's natural low points, and creating pools that will basically later serve as like, summer lounge areas in a nice cool pool in a natural creek. But because the water's all fed from natural springs, it's incredibly clean, and we're right at the source for where the springs start. Anyway, so we go to this skate park in Medellin to be part of the revolution, and it was incredible. As much as we felt like interlopers, being like the only two gringos there, aside from this other dude from Ontario, but he looked straight Colombian. He's white as hell, but he looked straight Colombian. He's been here for a while. But everybody was just so excited and happy that we were there and being supportive and understanding. And it was really neat that despite being completely outside and not like having a real reason to be there, like a visceral reason, and it was just really great. Basically like an outside techno show. My friend Caesar brought all of his club equipment from the club he owns and set it up, and they had a couple DJs, and they had my friend Carol doing visual arts, because she's a visual artist and she's in college right now for graphic design. But that's a big hole. Okay, fuck it. Alright, so where I'm trying to get to is this other massive tree. It's like the Lord of the Rings tree. That's what we call it, just because it looks like it should be in the Lord of the Rings. And I haven't actually been down to it yet, but look at it. The thing is like 200 feet tall or something. Like, that is a huge tree. There's a picture we've got of Shane standing next to it, and he's like that big. And Shane's like 6'4", 6'5". The tree is huge. So down here, there's already started the path for it, which wasn't there like 2 weeks ago. There's gonna be a Japanese rock garden. And then there's also gonna be like a Japanese tea house, I think over here. Just a small spot where you can stop in, have a nice breezy place to enjoy some tea underneath this majestic tree. It's just huge. Like, it's hard to get close to it because you don't want to, I don't know, it's just massive. I love it. Okay, so we're going to continue on. Oh, fuck, okay, where is that fucking hole? The jungle is great, but shit, oh, that's a massive spider. Shit will surprise the fuck out of you. Ah, come on, okay. All right. Yeah, walking through the tall grass is fine. Just don't kick over the new growth. You know, anything that's got cotton wrapped around its base is new growth. Fresh transplanted trees. Here's a sweet trough. This was the first place I saw one of the massive iguanas that they have here. It was just sitting on top of this roof when Andrew was giving me my first walk around of the Finca. Finca just means farm, by the way. And oh my god, the thing was like 2.5 feet long or more. It was amazing. This is another great tree. There are so many great trees here. I'm gonna probably point out most of them. This whole little ridge right here is fantastic. I love it because it feels like you're not way out in the open, but you're literally like just beyond these trees. It's just grass and like grassy knolls. But so down here is gonna be rad. I just can't even. So on this little sub ridge right here, like halfway down or a third of the way down, there's going to be micro cabins. Boom, 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 boom. I think 6 or 7 of them. Enough to sleep like 2 to 6 people. And this is, I think, phase 3 of the project. So this is like 3 to 5 years away, I think. And below it, so on the steeper side of the hill, just below where the micro cabins are, is going to be like pineapple and cocoa and just different stuff to mark what each cabin is. So you'll have like the pineapple cabin, you'll have the cocoa cabin, and it'll be themed differently, but not in a cheesy way. It's going to be awesome. Very minimalistic, very artful and tasteful. It's great. I love a lot of the designs and the ideas for this place. Then down below, where you have that big swath of freaking just empty green, thankfully we didn't have to cut any of these trees down because the dairy farmers who owned it before cut down so much so that fucking cows could graze, and in doing so they took down 5 over like 200-year-old black walnut trees out of this property that were freaking huge. And what did they do with the wood? They just fucking tossed it and burned it. And the neighbor who lives down over here, she's like all about rebuilding the jungle, loves what we're doing up here, like getting the economy or the ecology back or whatever. And those are her nephews, and she doesn't talk to them anymore. As soon as she saw that they took those 5 trees down, she cut them off, like completely out of her life. Anyway, love that lady. There's gonna be a small golf course that like zigzags through here, and that can run multiple directions, so that you'll still have like, I think up to 18 holes is what Andrew's thinking, but we'll see. Because if it's too small, it's like, what's the point? This is one of my favorite trees. You could just like walk right up it. It's amazing. And yes, I've walked right up it. Like, you shouldn't have even had to ask that. So now we're wrapping around to, I want to say the far side, but this is just the furthest ridge because the creek that runs there is still the border. Oh, and actually I think down there you can kind of see where there's a little pool that they've been digging, or blocking or damming up or whatever. So now the Mirador is over there, and the freaking path that I was walking is over there. Oh no, sorry, the Mirador's right over there. Yeah, the path I was walking is over here. The lagoon's over in those trees over there with the walkway. The Mirador Peak is up behind those trees, and then we came down, the flat spot's right there, and now we're walking down this ridge, which is going to take us to some other really cool stuff. You know what? Screw it. Might as well do like a whole walkthrough and just get everybody totally caught up and up to date. So over here, it's kind of hard to tell, probably on the camera, but the flat spot is right up over here. And then down through here, where those trees are, in the dark green area, like not this initial tree, but past it, there's like a natural freaking dip, and there's a spring that comes from there. So that spring is eventually going to turn into like a waterfall area with a little lagoon swimming spot, I think, but also a water slide, and that water slide is going to come down and shoot you over into here, which is another lagoon pool. And they've already got all the pieces for the water slide. They're in Medellin in a warehouse. It's like they're just prepared for it. But this again is still the path. Okay, I just deleted a lot more stuff, so now I've got like 4 or 5 more gigabytes for recording. Okay, septic tank. They just installed this. They've got a bunch of French drains, so they had to run all the piping down here anyway. So they had to trench it all out. So instead of just backfilling with dirt, we made French drains. So everything is wrapped in that black fabric-y paper, freaking felt stuff, whatever, and then filled with gravel, then rolled over with that shit. So it's wrapped up like a burrito, and then the clay and mud goes back over it, and it just goes all the way down. So everything leads into this one huge freaking tank. And you got the guys coming down with shovels and the black shit for finishing that off. And I think we can actually follow this trench down all the way. We're on the other side now, so there's actually a micro cabin right up in there. We call it the A-frame because it's an A-frame. Buenas. And so we're gonna follow this and see this mud. Oh my god, it is freaking insane. They're like, oh yeah, we've got like those awesome mucky mud boots if you want to use them. And I'm like, oh cool, what size do you have? And like, oh, the largest we have in Colombia is 43. I'm like, okay, well, that's just not gonna work. Okay, looks like there's an offshoot of the trail over here, as long as I don't fall into another fucking hole. That looks like it's gonna be a hole. That's a fucking hole. And the trail line's like right there. Somebody probably just broke trail to go pee. I don't think there is actually an outlet over here, so we're gonna head back up. So much has changed in such a small amount of time here. It's really incredible, like how much these guys are able to get done, and like in the time frame they're able to do it, especially since Colombia, it's so different as far as expenses go. Hey, what's up? This is Sebastian. Yeah, screw it. I think I'm just gonna walk up the trail. Okay. Video para mi familia. Oh, it's a hot day. This is winter, by the way, where we just have tormentos that come through like multiple times a week with crazy rain, thunder, lightning, fill the entire valley. It is insanely cool. And then the next day, because that was literally Sunday, the next day, yesterday and today, are just hot as balls and humid because of all the extra moisture in the air. Okay, we're gonna follow him up this path in a second. Buenas. Still struggling with my Spanish, but clearly don't practice enough, and now I'm back to practicing every day. Okay, so now we're connecting up to one of the main trails again, which is that golf cart trail, where if we didn't branch off over there, we would have come up this way. And there's going to be 3 more micro cabins over here. Like, Ryan, what's a micro cabin? Well, there's one over there that you can't see yet. There's a platform for one over there that we haven't built yet. And there's the first one over here, which you can't see yet either, because I'm choosing to show you guys coming through the moon door, because it is so freaking neat. So we'll hurry and skedaddle over there on another path. And now I'm walking where those other micro cabins are going to be going. And again, views of Saratusa, the orange orchard, everything, cool little tree, mango trees, fruit trees, star fruit trees, maracuya, lulu, guanabana. I mean, there's so much stuff here, like just on this property. Look at this thing. Look at all that awesome Spanish moss. So neat. Okay, gotta run, or the video will cut out. And you gotta see all this. So now we're coming up through that new growth again, just full circled. Okay, dear God, jump rope is not enough for cardio. All right, now we're at the moon door, where we first started. And we have plenty of time left now that I look at the clock. There's that cool tree again. And hola, Freddy. Oh, man. ¿Qué tal? Oh, those look fantastic. So come through the moon door. Oh shoot, let's do that again. Okay. Come through the moon door. Boom, micro cabin 1. Go off trail to the left a little bit so you guys can kind of see it. This is a micro cabin. It's got like loft style sleeping. There's a hammock on the second floor when you walk out on the upstairs balcony. There's a lower deck that we're rebuilding. There's the greenhouse, or small greenhouse, gardens, bananas, everything. There's gonna be water holding tanks that are gonna be buried. This awesome path. That's the big greenhouse back there. In between this garden and that greenhouse, there's another lagoon that the guys worked real hard getting finished. Boom. And that's pretty deep actually. Everything here you'll be able to swim in. And you're not going to want to drink it, but if you had to, you could because it's all clean. Gardens, all this stuff waiting to be transplanted. Star fruit, super good. You can just eat it right off the tree. Now we're getting up to the main house. And that white tent is the wood shop. But this is the main area where we got the kitchen and the bar going. And I've been working with Sebastian, he met earlier, and his crew of guys to get this foundation extended. This whole platform over here is going to be built behind this tree over here. There's going to be a big round brick wood-fired pizza oven that I'm going to build probably the next time around if I can't get it done before I'm here. And this is going to be the kitchen, all this custom concrete work done by Dustin. Sweet huge awning. And our pool with a beach around it. It's like 6 to 8 inches deep all the way around the pool, and then you can just jump in. That big cage right there is actually a swing chair, and it's gonna hang from this bar right here over the pool. This right here is gonna be our bar top. This massive tree that Andrew was able to get 2 cuts from the same tree, and we're gonna slice and connect the corners up. There's gonna be a bar underneath and behind it, liquor shelves up there. This is the kitchen. There's gonna be seating area over here. Here's my roommate, my buddy Johan. He's a welder from Bogota. He just got in a couple weeks ago. And again, at the pool, Saratusa. I got the micro cabin 1. Pablo's freaking drug mountain over there. My wood fire pizza is gonna go over here. This is all gonna be cement platform and then stone, like a stone pathway with grass growing in between. Off of the radius here and along all the way to that step is gonna be stairs, escala. Yeah, then it's all gonna be covered in its own roof too. So now we hop back down to the deck. This awesome freaking pool Sebastian built, like himself. Just did all the work. He's incredible. Look at this stone. All hand placed, and all of it is this. Even down in there, just more of the blue stone. There's gonna be ivy and stuff hanging from all of this. The inside of that roof is gonna be rusted corrugated steel. That whole platform is gonna be refinished with a fresh, like, little layer of cement to finish it off, and then texture and color, or, you know, dye it. Now, I didn't take you inside the first micro cabin. It's got a lot of work and repairs that need to be done, just because it was built before consultors came, myself and Chad, and we kind of tore it apart. Yeah, so things are being redone, but it's okay. This one is sick. This is the A-frame micro cabin. That's all concrete work, fake stone on the outside. The entire inside, concrete walls, concrete floors, spiral staircase, suspended platforms. Why not? Everything's dyed, ready to go. This right here is going to be a doorway, and it's going to lead down these stairs over to here, where you're going to have an outside private shower. You have your own outside private deck up here. That right there swings down and becomes part of the roof again. This first platform right here, it's kind of just a landing to get out to the deck, and then up inside there's another platform up above. That's going to be the main loft sleeping area. This open space right here is going to get like a hammock net in it. And all these windows were all done by the guys out of tempered glass that's all been recycled. So it's tempered, you can't cut it, so you just got to kind of make it work with whatever shapes you have, and then trim it out so it looks neat. This is a huge stone tub. It was a bitch getting those moved, even off the trucks, and we finally got a backhoe here to lift them with chains. But those are going to be like hot spring tubs that are placed around some of the micro cabins. Andrew had like 3 of those built, 2 for multiple people, and then one big long one for 1, maybe 2 people. And I think he paid like $600, and it took the guy like 12 or 14 months to carve them out with hand tools and shit. I mean, he used power tools too, but like all just nuts, fucking crazy. This is another cabin right here that we're gonna build. It's gonna have opposing roofs, like shed roofs. Pretty stoked. It's gonna have its own little private area down here. There's gonna be stairs that come off this side and walk you down through that part of the little jungle. Big, huge bay window up here overlooking this way. It's just, this project is so neat. I'm really excited, but there's other projects to do too. So, and I can only be here 6 months out of every calendar year. Until I get like a student visa or something like that. No, I'm not going to marry somebody so I can stay here longer. Not worth it. Whole different culture. And look at this tree. Love this tree. Just fucking amazing. I'm actually going to walk up because I can show you this pathway up here. So then you got the main resort spot up there, where the pool is anyway. And there's going to be hot springs in here too. There's going to be hot springs that we're digging in. Oh, this is that longer tub. They are huge. Like 2 people can fit in that facing each other. This right here is super neat because this is a continuation of the old Colombian Trail. And this has been around since before the native Colombians. Like, this thing is ancient. It runs through most of Colombia and it goes all the way up to Saratuza, or around it or something. And further up that path, there's Altar de Sacrificio, old sacrificial altar. But yeah, so other projects. Shane has some property in Uganda that he wants to do some fun stuff with. I really love Shane. He has a huge heart, and he's got the money to do what he's passionate about, which is just really cool that that's what he chooses to spend his money on instead of, stupid bullshit. So we're going to convert this big building or school or what is it, like a hotel or something. We're going to have that converted into an orphanage and like a care home and stuff for like troubled youth. And then so we can get that started from a distance, and then hopefully next year or maybe later this year, who knows, we'll actually head out there and go oversee the project and see how things are doing in Uganda. That's the moto that I get to ride. It's Shane's. It's fucking huge. It's a 990. It's way too heavy for out here. It's over 600 pounds. That thing is ideal. It's a 125. It's light. This is not even a nice road for that bike. Most of the road is like that, or rutted out more with more loose rocks. And this is the main house. This is the sweet 67 Land Rover that Johan and I cruise around in when we're cruising together. It is not an as severe disrepair as it was before. Andrew had a bunch of work done on it, which is great. I guess it's got power again. But here's the main front of the house. Wood shop, materiales, just piles and piles of stuff. Buenas. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They got amazing views. It's super green. The people here are awesome. The culture is fantastic. Nothing here is like super toxic like it is back home, not to be cliche, but there's just none of that. Like even the drama here, even the riots and the protests, like these people are actually fighting for something. It actually means something. It's things that affect their everyday lives, you know. It's a lot different. It's nice. Anyway, so June is Mexico. After that, I'm going to try to come home before starting school at the Florida Diving Institute, so I can sell a bunch of stuff, get things packed, and then drive to Florida. After that, graduating and stuff in like August. Planning on probably leaving my vehicle with Jakers and Eva over in Georgia. Just so many cool plants, guys. Like that stuff. Every one of those little petals, those like red and green petals, that's 1 year that thing has been growing. It's nuts. Things are small, but they are old and gorgeous. Yeah, and leaving my van with them so they can use it on adventures and have fun and stuff. And then probably flying back here to Colombia. But I don't have a solid plan on the after school part yet because it kind of just depends. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, so I'm just not trying to set any firm, solid plans because things just change. The only thing that's solid is I want to go to this diving institute and get certified, and then Shane and I can work in different places together just by accepting jobs from the patty site. This is my puppy, Chiquile. Hi, Chiquile. This is my man. He's the best. He loves me. He got really sick a little bit ago, and we took him to the vet, and I stayed with him the whole time. After we picked him up and everything, he was in so much pain. Oh, Chiquile. But he's just a Finca dog. He is. Dogs are everywhere here. It's amazing. The culture is great with the dogs. If they're a good dog, they are allowed to just live anywhere they want on the streets, in people's homes. Like, people take them in. If a dog looks like it's hurting, people will just take it to... Oh, he's all super sensitive. He likes to yip and yaw and freaking whine a bunch. But he's my boy. Oh, he makes these funny noises. Oh, Chiquile. Oh, mijo. Mijo. He's so cute. He's an old man. He's got like no front teeth. He's a little jungle cruiser. He's amazing. I would take him with me if I could. Maybe I will. Who knows? But yeah, it's great if the dogs look like they're hurting or something's wrong. People will just take him to the vet, and the vets will just take care of him. Like, it's just, everybody takes it upon themselves to take care of the dogs. It's so cool. Yeah, and now we're walking up around the other side of the house where the pizza oven and kitchen's gonna be. Walking down, we had like 5 rabbits, but I don't know if they either got eaten by people or if they got intentionally released out into the back part of the finca, because we're trying to attract the natural wildlife back to the area, including the cats. But yeah, just kind of reestablishing the jungle here. It's really neat. I don't know where I was before this. Yeah, school, not making too serious of plans or anything. Yeah, but anyway, I love you all. I miss you guys. I hope everybody sat through this freaking long video that I'm going to try to edit so that it's not so incredibly boring, but I'm probably not going to edit it. I'm just going to send it. You can skip through it whatever the fuck you want. Anyway, I got some other errands and chores to do, but this is like the main project part that I've been working on and supervising and consulting with Sebastian on. Oh, and there's Pumbaa. Pumbaa! Hola, Pumbaa! Buenas. But it's been a lot of fun. It's really great. It's incredible. I love this planet and traveling, and I'm honestly probably going to be gone quite a bit, you guys. It's not that I don't care and I don't love everybody, but I've put it off for so long. So this is what I'm doing now. And I'm really happy. Love you guys.